Hey, what's going on? I was reflecting over the past. I've been reflecting about like just the past like week and month or whatever because I've been going through some shit with trading or whatever. Finally starting to come back around the past like 3 weeks or so, but I had like a month of a bad spree of just couldn't win a trade to save my life and stuff. It made me realize I really don't think risk to reward or win rate really matters whatsoever. I think people get too caught up in that and don't like. I'm just going and trying to make money every day because when you start worrying about your win rate and you start worrying about your risk to reward, like I'm just like, oh, I'm playing probabilities and this shit, and then like I feel like I'm okay losing because I'm like I lose a day and I'm just like, oh, okay, I lost and that's fine because it's just part of the strategy. But then you lose again, and you keep taking the same setups with the same stop loss and the same take profit, and I think it's just a game of discretion. That's all it can be. The win rate, I don't know what my win rate is. I don't know what my RR is. It changes every trade. Sometimes I take 5 points. Sometimes I'm trying to take 50 points. It's just like discretion is the only thing that actually matters. And I don't like. I think it's good to see. I think like I don't think you'd be like, oh, I plan to win 60% of the time with a 1-to-1 risk to reward or whatever. Like, I think if you plan for that, you're just setting yourself up for failure. It should be like, all right, I'm just going to trade to make money on the setups I know I should take, and my stop will be what I think it should be. My take profit should be what I think it should be. And based on how the trade moves, like, yeah, sometimes I close early because I don't see us getting there. Like, lately, the market has been so fucking choppy that I cannot trade a breakout to full TP to save my life. And if I just sat there and took my 10 or 15 points, like this week I made 25 points, but I was break even going into Friday. And then I made like 5 points and 20 points or something like that. But if the reason that happened is like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I took 10 points, 10 points, or I took like 10 points, 15 points, 10 points or something like that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I gave it all back on Thursday and lost my 30 points because I was like, and I was up 15 points in the trade. I was just like, oh no, since I haven't been holding. I know I should be holding, and I'm just gonna hold my take profit. And then I sit there, it goes up, and since we're in a fucking range when I'm trying to trade a breakout, because all we've been doing is ranging lately, is I sit there, I watch it go up 10 or 15 points into profit, and then it just pulls against me, and I lose my 30 points on it, and was just break even for the week. And I'm like, it's just that one trade where I sat there and I fucking quote unquote knew, because you never know, because sure, it could have fucking ran, but it's like when the conditions have been so choppy, it's like I knew I should just take my 10 or 15 points. And that changes me from being up 25 points on the week. If I took 10 points there instead of losing 40, that means I'd be up, or instead of losing 30, I'd be up an extra 40 points. So I'd be up 65 points on the week instead of 25. And people will say that's bad. Like, oh, well, you can't do that long term in this. I think you can. I think like because I used to see these people with green streaks, and I'd be like, how are these people have a month straight of green? It just didn't make any sense. I'm like, I'm trading 1-to-ones, 50-50 chance for the most part, and I think I have a little bit of an edge that would make it maybe 60, even though I don't know what gave me the idea that I had an edge, but and then I would win just as much as I lost or whatever, and I'm like, how are these people having month streaks of green? And I realize they don't set limit. Like all you do is hinder yourself. The more rules you put in place, you just hinder yourself. I swear, like sometimes I'm sitting there, I'm like, I shouldn't take this because I trade breakouts, but I really think it's gonna bounce here. It's like if I really think something's going to happen and I know I can control my risk and control my emotions, why would I not take that trade? Like even last week or 2 weeks ago, we had like some big move, some big reversal, and I thought it was gonna bounce at the VWAP because there was like fucking 8 different confluences, and I'm like, all right, this thing's gonna swipe the VWAP and continue down. And what did I do? I think I lost that day too, on my prop firm account or my prop accounts, and then I was like, I'll just trade my cash account. And what happens? I take the short, I go in like 3 points of drawdown, and then I rip 60 points to my take profit in like 4 minutes. So I was like, okay, if if I can control risk, I don't think you need that much of a strategy. I really do. I think the strategy is the risk. It's like as long as you can control risk and you think you have an idea of what's going to happen, everything else is bullshit. The win rate, the risk to reward, the strategy, it's just like go in there. If you see something that you think is going to make you money, take the trade. Because also people get caught up in that too. They're like, oh, I was going to take it and I knew it was going to hit the, or you should have to say no lightly because you don't really know. But it's like, But like I knew I was gonna hit this, but I couldn't take it because the risk reward was off. So it's like, what, you're too good for like 15 points or 10 points because you were risking 25? Who gives a shit? Like if you, I realize it's like if you make 10 points a day, that's 50 points a week. In 2 weeks, you've made 2 grand. So say if your accounts are already at the buffer, that means every fucking, like say Apex, you're at $2,100. If you can make 2 grand every 2 weeks, which is 10 points a day, which I mean it's easier said than done, but it's also not that fucking hard. You're taking out max payouts every fucking 2 weeks. You have 20 accounts, it's 40K payouts every 2 weeks. Even if you make 50 points in 2 weeks, like if you make 25 points a week, it's like, okay, you make $1,000 in 2 weeks, you take out 1,000 on 20 accounts, it's 20 grand. But yeah, I don't see the benefit. I feel like all I've been doing this entire time is trading with handcuffs on. I sit there and I'm like, I can't do this, even though I think it's going to do this. And then if it doesn't work out, great. At least I took a trade that I really thought was going to work. All you have to do is be able to decide if in the moment you're like, you have to know that when you're in the moment you're thinking of things logically and not from like the fucking, when you're trading and you get emotional and stuff like that and you make poor decisions and then like you step away from the chart, you're like, what the fuck was that? What decisions did I just make? Those were terrible trades. As long as you know you're not doing that, like, which I trust myself enough, which is why I think rules were good, to like build the trust of myself and build the risk like management and build like, I had to have the training wheels on in order to realize and learn how to actually trade. And now that you actually have to like learned that I can trust myself to trade, I have to take the training wheels off and just be like, all right, I'm full discretion. I take profit when I think I should. I stop out when I think I should. And the trade to trade basis of like, oh, every trade I enter this, and I need a 1 to 2 risk reward in this. It's just, I was trying to make I think I was trying to make the market bend too much to me, as opposed to being like, well, I see this, we're chopping, like, especially coming off of like such a really great month and then having a really bad month after, just trying to trade the same thing, and then like I sit there like, and I'm like, why is that happening? Why did I instantly have a really good month and then have a really bad month? And then I'm like, because I keep trying to force the same things that were happening in the market to continue happening. Because like, you want, as a trader, you want this thing to, you want to be able to be like, oh, I figured it out and that's just it. Like I found this strategy, it's working, and now I just print till the end of time. But if it was trading was that easy, more people would do it, or more people wouldn't quit, because it's like you find good spurts of things for time, but then shit sucks. And it's like the only way to make it not suck is to be more discretionary. Every time I get more mechanical, I just lose. That's all it is. It's like I sit there and I'm winning on these trades, and then like I'm trying to force the same trades even though the conditions are changing. And like you can, I mean, it's hard to tell right when they're changing, because obviously you're not going to change anything when you're winning every time. But then you start losing, and it's like, no, it has to work. It has to work. It has to work. I was just doing this. It was just working. And then it's just not the case. It's just like, okay, we were breaking out. We were going to my target. We're not doing that anymore. What can I do to fix it? And then you just have to adjust from there, which is why I realized, like, I'm like, damn, if I'm going to be trading forever, this is the shit you're just constantly going to have to go through, of just sheer discretion and sheer acceptance that you actually never fully figure it out. Like, you just constantly adjusting. And then it's like, sometimes it's like, maybe I'll want to go break even because we keep going back and touching it. Or sometimes I'm going to let it run to my target if I think the market has been good lately and stuff like that. But you have to play it by ear till the fucking end of time, I guess. That's just how it works. But, yeah, I think that's all I got. I don't know. I've just been, like, reflecting and shit, and I think all the good traders you see and stuff like that who actually make money, they're just out there with an idea of something that's going to happen. They flip on a dime, whether oh, wait, this didn't happen, so I'm getting in here because this happened. Even though they might have just had a different bias right before that, but only a couple candles can change your bias and shit like that. And it's just like, oh, I'm just getting in, and I'm going to take my 10 points because we could reverse here or whatever. Like, whatever the case is, it's just like, you just have to be so, what is it? What do they say? Like water or whatever. I think fucking Bruce Lee said that. Like, you have to be like water or whatever. It's just like flow with anything. And that's just how it has to be. Like, because as soon as you put rigid, like, restrictions on, you're not going to beat the market out of an algorithm. Like, there's no way I can figure out something that is you do just that and it makes you money. I just don't think so. It's like, all right, the only thing that's gonna make me profitable is my discretion. So, yeah, I don't know, just a yap, but that's all I got. Take care.